that, I welcome you to Cottage Grove High School. I'm your host, Evan Clinton, here on 1400 KNND. It is about time for some more 4A Sky M League basketball. It is the opening night of Sky M League play here in Cottage Grove. Boys going to be up first. They're going to be taking on the 34th ranked Sisters Outlaws, coming in at 7-7. However, the Sisters team has suffered several recent blows here in this season. The first and foremost being no head coach Rand Runco, as he has been dealing with some issues that have not allowed him to coach this year. Runco, of course, really had the 2-3 zone established here at Sisters High School, and now David Godfrey stepping in for him. Let's hope to see him back soon. Another and even more recent really bad break for this Sisters team is the loss of Ty Horner. Horner is a 6'9" senior this year, was all of 6'7" last season. He is out with a broken wrist. He's hoping to get back by the end of the year, but when you look at the loss of Horner and then the loss of Ben Saba, Noah Richards from last year, excuse me, not Richards. Richards is a senior this year, but the loss of Saba especially, most of the scoring is gone here for Sisters, so they're really relying on their defensive play, along with Jack Berg. Look for Berg in this one. If they're going to stay in this basketball game, Berg's going to have to get hot from the outside for the Sisters Outlaws. Also for Sisters, they are coming into this one with Zach Anderson, number 21 for the Outlaws. He's extremely aggressive. We're going to see a lot of shots from him put up early, and if he can get hot, I think that's the best opportunity for the Outlaws to play in this one. Obviously, with the loss of Horners, Cottage Grove is definitely favored here in this matchup for the Lions. They're coming into this one at 9-4 on the season. They've won 6 in a row now after a 3-4 start. Of course, that includes 3 wins in Alaska, and then stateside, the last 2 have been 3-point victories over Staten and Gladstone. For Cottage Grove, they're going to press the whole game once again. I talked to Nick Finley pregame, and he said really what he's seen so far is 3, sometimes 2 quarters of really good basketball from his team, but they haven't been able to put a full game together, and you just look for it to click. I mean, once again, the new system with Finley coming in, they've got 13 games under their belt. Look for the system to click, and all of a sudden they might pull away from what's going to be a very closely contended Sky M League. In the Sky M right now, Cottage Grove's on top at 9-4, but once again, this is the opening night of league play, so everything from here on out is what really matters. Junction City sitting at 9-5, Sutherland 8-6, Sisters 7-7, and Sweet Home and Elmira are both under 500 on the year so far. So this is going to be a very closely contested league here in the Sky M this season, with 4 teams over 500 coming into league play. Looks like we are just about ready for the national anthem. Yes, indeed we are. National anthem is coming up, so we are going to take a 2-minute break and be back with the start of this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the team, coaches, cheerleaders, student body, and fans of Cottage Grove High School extend a big welcome. We are pleased that you can be here tonight as our guests. Sisters High School, along with Cottage Grove High School, are members of the OSAA and abide by the rules and regulations set forth by the association to maintain and improve high standards of conduct, competition, and relations with member schools. These are high school athletes who are performing here. They are friendly rivals and members of the opposing team. They are not enemies. This is the basic fundamental theme of every scholastic activity. The idea of friendly competition and respect for all participants. Just after the sportsmanship and respect to be reflected by all spectators, no matter what.
And welcome back to Cottage Grove High School. Real Stephen Clinton here on 1400 KNND. Just now introducing the starters here at Cottage Grove High School. And I'll do that just for you. For the visiting Sisters Outlaws, the 6'1" junior Noah Richards, along with the 6'1" senior Isaiah Rush. The player watching this one really is the 6'3" junior number 14 Jack Berg. Zach Anderson, also for Sisters, going to be very aggressive in this one. He's a 6'4" junior, and Austin Lake, the 6'2" senior, will be starting for the Sisters Outlaws. Berg, if him and Anderson can get it going, that's the best opportunity for Sisters to stay in this one. For Cottage Grove, it's going to be the 5'5" senior Marcus Julian, along with the 5'10" senior number 3 Jesse Ellingworth, 4'11" junior number 4 Giffen, the 6'1" senior number 14 Juice Claflin, and the 6'5" senior number 21 Jordan Hagwood. Some key bench players for Cottage Grove. We'll see how Trent plays a factor in this basketball game. He didn't really have it going against Staten, but he got things back on track from outside against Gladstone. And remember, that's a kid that in Alaska was able to hit 9 threes in one game. So I think Trenton Grove are really a kid to watch coming off the bench for Cottage Grove. Defensively, I think is where this one is really going to be decided. Can Sisters handle the press, especially with no Ty Horner? And you can see down there right now, head coach David Godfrey is talking to his players just about that, how to get the ball up the floor against this Cottage Grove press. Just about ready for the tip. It is going to be the 6'5" senior Jordan Hagwood and the 6'4" junior in Zach Anderson. Sisters, they're visiting black and whites, Cottage Grove in the home whites, and the tip is won by Cottage Grove. And it looks like they are going to start in the 2-3 zone is Sisters, basically a matchup zone here early for the Outlaws. Julian over to Ellingworth on the right wing, now to Giffen out at half court. Giffen gets it down low to Hagwood. He's going to shoot the short jumper. That one's no good. The board being fought for. Ellingworth's on top of it, and it looks like they're going to get a jump ball. Good effort there from Ellingworth. Possession arrow is to Sisters, and this will allow Cottage Grove to set up that press. It's going to be Berg to inbound, and he gets it in to Rush. Isaiah Rush with the basketball. Rush gets it across half court. Now he's going to give it up to Richards on the left wing. Richards takes it left. Excuse me, that's Anderson with the basketball. Anderson now to Rush, back out at half court. Now to Richards. Richards gets inside. Lay-in is no good. Good defense there from Giffen. Ball down to Ellingworth on the left wing. Ellingworth now over to Giffen, right wing. Remember, Giffen early in that game against Staten took several threes that were from about 28 feet out there. Nice pass down low, and that one's no good from Claflin. Blocked there from Sisters. Ball back to the Outlaws. It's going to be Rush. Rush now to Anderson, left wing. He'll take it left. Rush at the top of the key. Now back over to Anderson on the left wing. 6:25 to go here in the first. Still scoreless until now as Anderson drives down low and gets that bucket. First two of the game for Sisters. They've got a 2-0 lead. Nice pass down low, wide open. Hagwood. Easy bucket there for the 6'5" senior. Rush has it poked away from behind. As a push, now pass to Berg on the right wing, and he nails the three. Jack Berg with the three. Let me tell you what, Isaiah Rush just got away with one there. Nonetheless, Sisters up 5-2. Ellingworth now to Giffen. Back over to Ellingworth on the right wing. Now to Julian, top of the key, over to Ellingworth, right wing. Now low to Claflin, back out to Julian, over to Ellingworth on the right wing. Ellingworth drives down low, drives baseline to Giffen, now to Ellingworth, baseline three, and that one's no good. And the board goes to Berg. Real good defense here early from Sisters. Now to Richards, he drives baseline, has it rejected by Hagwood, and it goes in the hands of Giffen. Giffen gonna push it up the floor for Cottage Grove. Cross court to Ellingworth, three, good. Talking to Nick Finley earlier in the year, he said one thing he really wanted to see was Ellingworth be a little more free with himself and allow himself to shoot the basketball. Now Richards, another push off. He's going to get away with that one as well. Rush on the right wing with it. Rush now over to Austin Lake for three. That's no good. The board, though, goes to Jack Berg down low, and we're going to get Julian on a foul on the floor. First foul of the game on either side. We're tied up at 5, 4:45 to go here in the first quarter. Now it looks like Dejan Alonso is going to come in for Juice Claflin. Richards to inbound from the baseline, throws it into Rush. Rush loses it, throws it away, and Hagwood's got it. Cottage Grove going to push it, and almost turned over, but Alonzo comes away with it. Now to Hagwood on the baseline, and Hagwood throws it away. Fast break the other way. Here comes Richards, and a charge. Eric Giffen in the transition D there gets run over by Noah Richards. And it's Cottage Grove basketball. Julian to take it up the floor for Cottage Grove. Giffen now over to Ellingworth, far side baseline, three is off the mark, but the board goes right to Hagwood, and Hagwood can't finish, and then a foul on the rebound on Jesse Ellingworth. Missed opportunity for Jordan Hagwood down there. First foul of the game on Ellingworth. It will be Sisters basketball. Still haven't seen Sisters turn it over here against the press. Rush now to Berg. Berg back to Rush. Rush, nice pass. Down low now to Lake. Off glass and good. Good job there by Sisters to beat the press. Ball to Giffen now. Sisters with a 2-point lead. Julian now to Hagwood on the baseline, and it is off of Hagwood, out of bounds. Trenton Grover coming in here for Cottage Grove. See if he can get the Lions going offensively. Held to 5 points so far just in the first half of this first quarter. Jack Berg with it. He gets around the press, drives into the paint, and a double dribble is going to be called on Berg, which I believe they got him for a carry. Cottage Grove basketball. Lions down 7-5. Jesse Ellingworth with it on the right wing. Ellingworth now to Grover. Grover, nice pass down low to Alonzo, but he throws it away, and then it's almost knocked out of bounds by Sisters, but saved by Ellingworth. Now Grover to Giffen on the left wing. He gets it down low to Hagwood. Hagwood jumper is no good, and they're going to say Sisters stepped out of bounds with the basketball, so it still will stay with Cottage Grove. Jordan Hagwood Been ice cold here early. He's had a couple short looks, just has not been able to get it going yet. Giffen gets it into Alonzo, lay in, that one's no good, but he is fouled. Foul goes on Austin Lake. That is the first on him. So now it'll be Dejan Alonzo to the line to shoot 2, and the first one is well short. 3:16 left here in the first. Second free throw short as well, and the board goes to Sisters. Berg with it, now to Richards on the right wing. Richards steps back, now gets it to Anderson down low. Anderson working on Alonzo, goes off glass, reverse lay-in is good for Anderson. Zach Anderson now with 4. Looks like we've got a foul on the floor. That one is going to go on Isaiah Rush. Great moves by Anderson down low to get that bucket. Sisters now with a 4-point lead. Giffen now to Grover on the left wing, to Giffen on the near side. Giffen into the paint, cross over to Alonzo. Alonzo back out to Giffen. Giffen going to shoot the long 3. That one's no good, and the board goes to Richards. Ball to Berg on the right wing. Berg steps back, gets it down low to Anderson again. Anderson spins, shoots good over the 6'5" Hegwood, and Zach Anderson now starting to get it going, and Sisters has an 11-5 lead. Outlaws looking real good here early. Now ball to Grover. 3 is no good. Offensive board for Alonzo. The follow's no good, and hits his own board twice. They're going to get the foul on the floor on the rebound, I think. They are indeed going to say that foul was on the floor. Goes on Austin Lake. Cottage Grove just been ice cold from the field. Only 2 field goals. Now Giffen throws it away off the inbound. It's another turnover. Sisters basketball. Rush now to Richards. Richards gets it in the paint to Anderson, and a walk called on Zach Anderson. Also into the game for Sisters, James Cisalani. And it looks like Nick Finley here for Cottage Grove wants a timeout. 2:04 left in the first quarter, and it is 11-5 lead here for Sisters. We're going to take a 30-second break and be back with the rest of the first quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the scoreboard is reporting foul on every moment, so don't get excited.
Welcome back to Cottage Grove High School. I'm your host, Evan McClendon, here on 1400 KNND. It's 11-5 lead here for Sisters. It's been an incredibly slow start for Cottage Grove. Ellingworth with it on the right wing for the Lions. Alonzo now back to Ellingworth. He drives baseline, kicks it out to Giffen. Now to Grover on the near side. 3. That one's good as he gets the roll. And now Cottage Grove with the press. Still haven't been able to force turnovers like they'd want to here in the first quarter. Another great feed down low to Anderson, who's hot here in the first quarter. He's got 8 for Sisters. Giffen to Alonzo, now out to Ellingworth, right wing. 3, that one's good. Back-to-back 3s for Cottage Grove, and just like that, it's a 2-point basketball game. Grover now to Richards. Richards drives down low, can't get the shot to fall. Now Alonzo going to push it to Ellingworth. Ellingworth left-handed, that's good. And out of the timeout, Cottage Grove just goes on a tear as they just outscored themselves in the first quarter, and it's all knotted up at 13. It's 8 points in the last just about a minute from that timeout. And we're tied up at 13. Berg on the right wing. Berg now to Rush. Now over on the far side to Ceciliani. Now Anderson. 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ball to Richards. Now over on the far side to Berg. Sisters. Berg drives down low. Can't get that shot to fall. And Ellingworth going to push it again. Ellingworth, the one-man show here, has it rejected by Richards. Goes down hard, but good transition D there from Noah Richards. Now 8.4 seconds to go. Cottage Grove most likely going to hold for the last shot here. Ball's into Grover. Now Glenn on the left wing. Back to Giffen. 4 seconds. Giffen going to step back. Tries to shoot it over Rush and has it rejected by Isaiah Rush. And that is how the first quarter is going to end. After one, we are all tied up at 13. We're going to take a 1-minute break and be back for the start of the second quarter.
Shootout, so that will be the girls' game at halftime. Tickets are $1 apiece or $6 for $5. And again, that will happen at the girls' halftime.
Welcome back to Cottage Grove High School. Start of the second quarter coming. Once again, you're listening to the mighty 1400 KNND. I'm Evan McClendon. We're all tied up at 13. But 8 of those points came in just over a minute. There from the 2:04 mark to just under a minute to go in that first quarter came 8 of those. A 3 from Grover, a 3 from Ellingworth, and then a fast break bucket. And it's a turnover on the first possession here for Cottage Grove. Ball back to Sisters. 7:42 to go in the first half. Richards with it. 8 of the 13 for Sisters came from Anderson. Rush into the paint. Rush going to shoot the one-hander. That one's no good, and Giffen gets the board here for Cottage Grove. Giffen with a head of steam into the paint and a charge. Great D there from Ceciliani. First foul of the game on Eric Giffen. Sisters basketball. Jordan Higwood comes back in here for Austin Cardwell. Also got Hayden Glenn, Ellingworth, Eric Giffen, and Trenton Grover in the game, and he forces the steal, and then Giffen gets blocked again by Rush, but it will stay with Cottage Grove. Good D there from Trenton Grover. His hands in there and force the turnover, and that's really the first time we've seen the press be that effective here against Sisters. Ball to Ellingworth. He drives into the paint. Now kicks it out to Giffen on the right wing. Giffen down low to Hagwood. Lay in good. Second bucket of the game for Hagwood, and Cottage Grove has their first lead of this one. 15-13, and Grover comes away with another steal. Grover, nice pass to Giffen. Lay in good. Trenton Grover on the defensive side of things right now. Just forced back-to-back turnovers, which have led to 4 Cottage Grove points. And the Lions are up 17-13. We got another timeout, Sisters. We are going to take a 30-second break and be back with the rest of the first half. And welcome back to Cottage Grove High School. It's a 17-13 lead here for Cottage Grove, and they've done basically all of it here in the last 4 minutes of this basketball game. As since the 2:04 mark in that first quarter, Cottage Grove has outscored Sisters 11-2. All of 4 minutes, and it's another steal. Ellingworth, fast break. Ellingworth lay in, has it blocked from behind by Richards. Great transition D, now fast break Sisters. Berg, lay in, good. Phenomenal D there from Noah Richards, leads to the bucket for Jack Berg, and it's a 17-15 basketball game. Ball to Ellingworth, now out to Grover. Grover over to Ellingworth on the right wing. Now back to Giffen. Giffen is called for the travel. Marcus Julian going to come back in here for Cottage Grove. Will be Sisters basketball. After Sisters really didn't struggle with the press in the first quarter, they've turned it over 3 times here early in the second. A lot of that been Trenton Grover. Richards with the basketball for Sisters. Richards gives it away to Taylor Scholl. Now back to Richards for Sisters. Richards gets around Grover and is able to lay it in. 2 for Richards, and we're back tied up at 17 and a travel called on Marcus Julian. That's just how the tide turns. It's been a game of runs so far. Sisters now on a 4-0 run of their own. We're knotted up at 17. Richards into Scholl, now to Richards. Richards down low, off glass, can't get it to fall, and the board goes to Hayden Glenn. Cottage Grove going to push it. Grover's got it left wing. Drover drives down low, tries the reverse lay-in, can't get it to fall. And the ball is back to Sisters. Now Richards into the paint. Richards knifes through the Cottage Grove defense and picks himself up an easy bucket. And now Sisters on a 6-0 run. Ellingworth, right wing, 3's no good. The board goes to Ellingworth. Grover, 3, good. That's Jesse Ellingworth right there following his shot, gets the offensive board, and finds Grover, who just hit his second 3 of this one. Richards now into the paint again. Richards lay in, no good. Board goes to Sisters, put back no good. And Ellingworth going to push it again. Ellingworth now to Glenn, lay in, too strong. And the rebound is taken by Sisters. Cottage Grove up 20-19. Now Berg into the paint, and we're going to get a foul from behind. Looks like they're going to get Jordan Hagwood. That is his first foul of the game. First free throw from Berg is up and good. Berg now with 6. It's Dejan Alonzo and Juice Claflin going to come in here for Cottage Grove. Austin Lake and Rush back into the game for Sisters. Second free throw coming from Jack Berg. It's up, and that one's off the back of the iron. Board goes to Ellingworth, and we're all tied up at 20. Got a close one here in opening night of the Sky M. Ball down low to Alonzo. Now back to Ellingworth. He'll shoot the floater. No good. Offensive board for Alonzo. Putback's no good. Another offensive board out to Grover. Left wing three is no good. And the third straight offensive board here for Cottage Grove goes to Marcus Julian. Now Claflin down low. Back out to Ellingworth. Back to Claflin. Claflin throws it away. Ends up in the hands of Alonzo. Now Grover into the paint. And an offensive foul going to be called on Sisters as Grover just ran over Austin Lake, just out of control there in the lane, and Lake takes the charge. 3:54 to go here in the second quarter, all tied up at 20. Rush gets it into Berg, now back to Rush. Rush takes it right into the paint, now out on the near side to Scholl. Scholl drives down low, kicks it back out to Berg. Berg drives left, now back outside to Waddell. Waddell lay in, can't get that one to fall, and it is taken by Cottage Grove. Ellingworth going to push it, does not have numbers. Ellingworth though down low, lay in, that one's no good, and the board goes to Sisters. We've seen glimpses of brilliance from Cottage Grove in this game offensively. And we've seen times where they just go ice cold. Ellingworth going to push it again. Grover, left wing three, nailed it. Trenton Grover in transition, hits his third three of the game. And Cottage Grove with a 3-point lead. Ball outside to Waddell. Waddell now to Scholl. He's going to drive right. Finds a cutting Berg. Lay in, up and over Claflin, and that one falls. It's two more for Jack Berg. Pushing it this way. Grover with the three. That's no good. Board, though, again. Another offensive board here for Cottage Grove. Three from Alonzo is good. Cottage Grove going three crazy here in the first half, as that is their 6th three in the first half of this basketball game. Ball now to Scholl. He drives down low and he walks with it. It will be Cottage Grove basketball. 2:14 to go here in the first half. Ellingworth checks out. Is Eric Giffen going to come back in for Cottage Grove? Trenton Grover with 9 here in the first half off the bench. Giffen takes it right, picks up his dribble, gets it down low to Alonzo. Now back to Grover. Grover, no look pass to Alonzo. Alonzo's shot not going to fall over Lake. Rush takes it right, hands it off to Richards. Richards gonna get him for the carry. Cottage Grove basketball, 1:46 to go in the first half. Really has been a game of runs. Cottage Grove with an 11-2 run, followed by a 6-0 run by Sisters. And now Cottage Grove's on a 9-0 run of their own. Excuse me, 9-3. Grover on the right wing, cross court to Julian on the left wing. Julian gonna cross over. Floater in the lane is not gonna fall, and the board goes to Berg. Richards, he's gonna take it right into the lane, and I think we're gonna get a foul on the floor. It's on Eric Giffen. It'll be his second. 16 foul on Cottage Grove. Will be an inbound from the baseline here for Sisters. Richards gets it to Berg on the baseline, now inside the Lake, back out to Berg, now to Richards, wide open, top of the key three, that's no good. The offensive board though goes to Lake, then it's stripped by Giffen and stolen away. Fast break, here comes Giffen, lay in, no good. Board is knocked out of bounds off of Sisters. So it will stay Cottage Grove basketball. Jesse Ellingworth back into the game here for Cottage Grove. Ellingworth to inbound, gets it into Julian. Julian now to Alonzo, and right through the hands of Ellingworth, who is looking to get it to Grover, but forgot to catch the basketball. Turnover here for Cottage Grove, and the ball back the Sisters. Rush walks it up the floor for the Outlaws. Now over to Lake on the left wing, to Richards on the free throw line. Back to Berg outside. Berg picks up his dribble. Now back to Lake. 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Almost a travel there from Lake. Rush now to Richards. Richards over to Anderson, who we haven't heard anything from here in the second quarter after he put up 8 in the first. Now to Rush. Top of the key. Sisters down 4, only 10 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Out to Lake. Got to get a shot off in this spot. 5 seconds. 3. It's an air ball with 1.2 seconds to go here in the first half. Now Sisters is going to come up. Press. 1.2 seconds to go. They get it into Claflin. Now to Ellingworth. 3. No good. Almost got it to go off the glass, but it did not fall. But a good second quarter here for Cottage Grove, as they're going to take a 26-22 lead into the half. What an interesting first half, to say the least. Cottage Grove really started off ice cold, and then on basically what was a 4-minute stretch went on an 11-2 run, which Sisters would then answer with a 6-0 run of their own, and then Cottage Grove ends the first half on a 9-3 run. So we've kind of seen two different teams here. Cottage Grove's either been really on top of it, as they did when they put up 11 points real fast, or they've just been ice cold from the field. So, I mean, which team do we get when they come out here in the second half? For Sisters, it's been a good combination of Noah Richards, Jack Berg, and Zach Anderson, but Anderson's got to get back into the game, as he didn't have a point there in that second quarter after he put up 8 in the first. So I look for Sisters to get him the ball more in the second half. Also look for Jack Berg to come out here to start the second half. Berg ended the first half with 8 points for the Sisters Outlaws, and I think if they want to get back into this one, they're only 4 points down right now. They're definitely going to need to get him going from the outside. Once again, final score here at the end of the first half is Cottage Grove 26 and Sisters 22. We're going to take about an 8-minute break and be back with the second half of this one.
we go.
We are ready for the second half. Thank you very much, Mr. Wrighton. Welcome back to Cottage Grove High School. It's a 26-22 lead here for Cottage Grove. In case you're wondering about point totals for that first half, Trenton Grover led all scorers off the bench, and all 9 of his points came from downtown as he got it going there in that first half. Jesse Ellingworth also with 2 threes in that first half. He had 8. Giffen added 2 of his own. Hegwood had 4. DeJean Alonzo added 3 for Richards. For Sisters, it's really been 3 guys, Noah Richards with 4 and Jack Berg and Zach Anderson both with 8. But remember, all 8 for Anderson came in the first quarter, so look for Sisters to try to get him going here early in this second half. Down by 4 for Sisters, it is going to be Berg. He gets it into Rush. Also Richards, Anderson, and Austin Lake on the floor for Cottage Grove, and it's a steal for Giffen right off the bat. Lay-in is good. Aggressive D there against Rush. Nets Giffen the steal. And it's a 6-point lead here for Cottage Grove. Ball out to Berg on the right-hand side of the floor. Lake, left wing. Now to Rush. Rush to Anderson, over to Richards on the right wing. Richards drives baseline, throws it out to Lake. Almost stolen away again by Giffen. Rush, left wing, gets a screen, takes it right, now kicks it out to Anderson. Anderson out to Berg on the left wing. Berg drives left. Berg now to Lake. Lake down low to Anderson, and it is Anderson with the basketball on his knees. Now a jump ball is going to be called. Possession arrow is to Cottage Grove, so back-to-back turnovers here for Sisters to start the second half. It's Jordan Hagwood, Juice Claflin, Eric Giffen, Jesse Ellingworth, and Marcus Julian in the game right now for Cottage Grove. Ellingworth gets it down low to Hagwood. He spins left, kicks it back out to Claflin, now to Giffen. He'll drive left. Giffen to Claflin down low. Claflin spins, kicks it back out to Julian, now to Ellingworth on the right wing. Giffen, nice pass down low to Claflin, now back out to Ellingworth, to Giffen, left wing three. That one's off the mark, but the offensive board would be a statistic I'd love to see right now because they've had a ton of them in this one. Julian, now to Claflin down low, back out to Giffen.
One warning, right here. One warning, sisters. No more from that bench.
Looks like we have a warning called on Sisters. Could be seeing some technical fouls here in the near future. Hagwood now to Claflin. I believe the fouls. Looks like they're going to get Berg and Claflin. That's the call on Jack Berg and Juice Claflin. So apparently something going on there. No change of possession. And now Giffen going to take a left wing three. That one's off the mark. And another long rebound. Now out to Ellingworth. Left wing three. That one's good. Jesse Ellingworth with his third three of the game. He's now got 11 here for Cottage Grove. And it looks like we are going to have a timeout here from Sisters as Cottage Grove is on a 5-0 run here to start the second half, and they've got a 9-point lead. We are going to take a 30-second break and be back with the rest of the third quarter. And welcome back to Cottage Grove High School. I'm your host, Evan McClendon, here on 1400 KNND. Cottage Grove with its largest lead of the game, now up 31-22. Rush over to Richards for Sisters. Richards now to Lake, top of the key. Now to Anderson, left wing. 8 points in the first quarter, and since then, Zach Anderson has gotten nothing going. Now to Richards in the paint. Richards over Ellingworth. That one's no good, and it looks like a foul on the board. It's going to go on Jordan Hagwood, only his second. It looks like they are going to give Richards 2 free throws. First one from Richards is no good. Second free throw from Richards. That one is up and good. He's now got 5 for Sisters. It's an 8-point lead here for Cottage Grove. Julian has that pass knocked away. Now to Giffen, top of the key. Giffen out to Julian on the right wing. Now back to Giffen. Ellingworth now over to Giffen. Giffen to Julian, back to Giffen. Now to Claflin down low, out to Ellingworth on the left wing, back to Julian. 4:48 to go here in the third. Cottage Grove up 31-23. 3 from Giffen, and he's been cold all night. Really hasn't had a good look yet, but he's been slinging it anyway. Now to Berg, left wing 3, and Jack Berg hits another one in transition. He's now got 11. Now fast break the other way. And it's a turnover here for Cottage Grove. Richards lay in good, and just like that, it's 5 straight here for Sisters, and they're right back in it, down by 3. Ellingworth to Julian on the right wing, and he turns it over. And this one has been like this all night long. It looks like one team is going to finally pull away, and then all of a sudden, in a matter of seconds, really, the other team's right back in it. That pass knocked away by Giffen. Jukes Claflin going to push it up the floor. Now to Giffen on the right wing. Giffen to Claflin in the paint. He'll shoot the jumper. That one's no good off the back of the iron. And the board goes to Sisters. Rush with it. Out of Anderson. Girls game coming up after this one here in Cottage Grove. Rush to Richards. Richards in the paint is rejected by Hagwood. And ball back to Cottage Grove, out to Ellingworth on the left wing. Still haven't seen any Trenton Grover here in the second half. That shot is up and good. Another one from Ellingworth. And it looks like we've got another timeout from Sisters. Jesse Ellingworth has now hit 4 threes here for Cottage Grove, and they've taken their lead back up to 6. Looks like we got a full timeout from Sisters. We're going to take a 1-minute break and be back with the rest of the third quarter. Back to Cottage Grove High School. 2:59 to go here in the third quarter. Cottage Grove up 34-28. Sisters ball out of the timeout. It's going to go to 1400 KNND. And I'm your host, Evan McClendon. We've got a reach-in foul on Trenton Grover, who is back into the game for the first time in the second half. He had 9 in the first half, all from downtown. I was really impressed with how he played defensively, though. Aggressive, but not too aggressive like there, where he does pick up the foul. One of the keys for Cottage Grove on this season with the press that they are running, as Sisters is going to inbound it deep to Anderson, is that their guards do not get into foul trouble, and they've done a very good job so far in this one of just that, as Eric Giffen, Hagwood, and Trenton Grover all have 2 fouls. Now it looks like they're going to hit Hagwood with his 3rd. I believe, yes, indeed. They're going to hit Hagwood with his 3rd, so he's the only Cottage Grove player with 3, and he's going to come out for Austin Cardwell. Other than that, Grover and Giffen with 2. Julian and Ellingworth both have a single one, and now that pass thrown away. Cottage Grove to push it. Ellingworth, fast break, lay in, good. Jesse Ellingworth has been nothing short of impressive in this one, as he's now got 16 here for Cottage Grove. Berg on the left wing, now to Lake. Over on the far side to Richards. to Lake. Now Berg on the left wing. The lead back up to 8 here for Cottage Grove. Richards now with it in the paint. Out to Lake. Wide open 3. Nailed it. Austin Lake with the 3. Back to a 5-point game. Clock under 2 minutes to go here in the third. Ellingworth with it for Cottage Grove. Giffen down low to Cardwell under the hoop. That shot does not fall. And the board goes to Cottage Grove. Excuse me, Sisters. Richards with it. He drives right over the defender. Can't get that one to go. And Grover comes away with the board. Grover with the pass, and it goes right to Richards, who Grover then fouls. Now that is his third with 1:25 to go here in the third quarter. Now 5 team fouls on Cottage Grove, only 1 on Sisters here in the second half, who really has no one in foul trouble either. Rush now to Lake. He's wide open for 3 again. This one doesn't fall, but an offensive board for Waddell, and then a foul called on Alonzo. It's the first on Alonzo, but more importantly, that's the 6th now on Cottage Grove. It will be 1-and-1s here on out. For Sisters, 1:08 to go here in the third quarter. Ball's into Waddell, now to Berg. Waddell with it on the left wing. Back out to Berg. Berg to Waddell. Back to Berg. Now on the far side, down low to Waddell. Waddell gets Anderson in the paint. Anderson to Lake, and off glass and good. And Austin Lake, 5 of his 7 points have all come here in this third quarter. Ellingworth with it, cross court to Alonzo. Now to Grover, baseline 3, no good. Board goes to Alonzo, but we got a foul on the board. They called it on 22. So the foul called on Cardwell. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for Sisters. First foul of the game on Cardwell. Did not see it. It happened down low on the board, but it's going to be a 1-and-1 for the Outlaws. So that man, Austin Lake, who's really turned it up here in the third quarter, is going to have front end of a 1-and-1. It looks like we've got a late violation on Jack Berg, which negates a made free throw by Lake. We'll stay a 3-point deficit for Sisters. That's a big lane violation on Berg. Now Cottage Grove going to get the basketball back with 22 seconds to go in the third quarter and a 3-point lead. Ball to Ellingworth on the right wing. Ellingworth now cross court to Giffen. Glenn down low, back out to Giffen. He shot fakes, takes it right. And a reach-in foul is going to be called on Isaiah Rush. That is his second. So it's going to stay with Cottage Grove. 7.9 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ball into Ellingworth, near side to Glenn. He shot fakes 3. That one's no good. The board goes to Sisters. Stolen away by Ellingworth. He can't get that to go. But Cottage Grove is going to hold on to a narrow 3-point lead headed into the fourth quarter of this one. We're going to take a 1-minute break and be back with that. Welcome back to Cottage Grove High School. We've got another close one here in Cottage Grove. Sisters down 33-36. 8 minutes to go. Just about ready to start the fourth quarter. Once again, you're listening to the mighty 1400 KNND. I'm your host, Evan McClendon. It's another tight one for Cottage Grove here at home, and a lay-in for Jack Berg to start the fourth quarter is going to make it even closer. Berg now has 13 here for Sisters, and it's a one-point game. Alonzo cross-court to Ellingworth, who's got 16 in this one. Grover, no-look pass, and it's thrown away. Sisters basketball with their first chance to take the lead back since the second quarter. Rush into the paint, he just got left wide open, and it's an easy bucket for Isaiah Rush. And now fast break the other way. Board is taken by Jack Berg, who's on the floor. Gets it away. Now back to Berg as he loses it. Takes it up the floor. Berg now into the paint. Berg lay in, it's no good. Rebound goes to Berg, and then a block. A ton of contact down low, and then we're going to get the foul called on the board. That one goes on Berg. Only the third on Sisters. They've taken the lead back in this one, 37-36. The last two games Cottage Grove has played have both been decided by 3 points. And right now we're headed to something very close to that. Sisters with a 1-point lead, under 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Grover on the right wing, now to Ellingworth in the paint, back out to Grover, has his 3 rejected. Board, though, goes to Alonzo, and Alonzo gets the bucket. Cottage Grove back up by 1. Steal by Giffen. No, he is going to get called for the reach-in. And now that's going to be a 1-and-1 for Isaiah Rush. Rush has not attempted a free throw tonight. A big one coming here to try to tie it up. Free throw up, and the free throw is good. We are all tied up. Chance to take the lead here for Rush and Sisters. That one up and nailed it as well, as he's now got 4. Giffen now to Ellingworth on the right wing. Ellingworth gets it down low to Alonzo. Back out to Ellingworth. 3, and he hit it another one. Ellingworth now with 19. Almost a steal in the backcourt there for Cottage Grove. And the Lions now with a 2-point lead. Rush almost loses it, gets it to Richards. Richards drives right, kicks it out right to Waddell. Waddell cross court, Rush open for 3, hits it. Isaiah Rush has come on here late, as he's now got 7 here in the second half. It's a 1-point lead here for Sisters. Ball to Alonzo, that pass tipped. Now over to Giffen on the left wing. 3, that one's off the mark. Board goes to Ellingworth on the right wing. Ellingworth over to Giffen. Giffen now back to Grover on the right wing. Nice pass down low to Alonzo. Now back to Grover. That one's way too strong. And an offensive foul is going to be called on Grover, because he apparently tripped Rush as he went out of bounds. So Rush goes down hard. That is now the 4th foul on Grover. So it's Sisters basketball. 3:22 to go here in the fourth quarter. Sisters basketball. Rush going to take it up the floor for the Outlaws. Drives left, now kicks it over to Richards. Ball on the far side now to Waddell. Waddell over to Richards, right wing three. That one's short, but the board goes to Anderson. Anderson, great pass down low, and it's 2 for Richards. And Sisters is up 3. Ball to Alonzo on the right wing. Alonzo now to Ellingworth. Ellingworth trying to get it to Julian, almost has it stolen away, and then Ellingworth is run over by Richards. Be a foul on Noah Richards. And it looks like we have got a timeout here from head coach Nick Finley. 4:46 to go in the fourth quarter. It is a 44-41 lead for Sisters. We're going to take a 30-second break and be back with the rest of the fourth quarter. Welcome back to Cottage Grove High School. 4:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. Sisters up 3. Ball to Ellingworth on the right wing. Now to Hagwood. Back to Ellingworth. Now on the far side. Grover 3. Good. Nothing but net for Trenton Grover. That's his 4th 3 of this one. And we are all tied up again. 44-44. Rush now to Richards. Richards takes it right, has it tipped, and then it's lost out of bounds. They're going to say it went off of Alonzo. So we'll stay with Sisters. Ball inbounded into Jack Berg, top of the key. Berg now to Lake on the right wing. Back to Berg. Berg into the paint. Now on the near side. Rush open for 3. Off the mark. Board saved by Anderson and thrown right to Berg. Left wing 3. That one's no good. Another offensive board. Out to Berg. Berg drives into the paint. Berg, runner is good. What an effort play by Zach Anderson to get that first board. And it ends up with a bucket for Sisters. It's back to a 2-point lead for them. Ellingworth on the right wing. Now over to Grover on the left wing. Grover gets it to Alonzo. Alonzo out to Julian. Now back to Grover. Ellingworth. 3:23 to go. To Ellingworth on the right wing. Ellingworth now to Julian. Back to Ellingworth, now down low. Hagwood, Hagwood up and in. Good move there from Jordan Hagwood. Down low as he's now got 6, and we're tied at 46. Back and forth we go here. 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Berg takes it right. Berg gets it to Anderson. Anderson has been held quiet since an 8-point first quarter. Rush with it, and it looks like we've got a timeout. Sisters. 2:47 to go here in the fourth quarter, and we are knotted up at 46. We're going to take a 1-minute break and be back with the rest of the fourth quarter. back to Cottage Grove High School. I'm your host, Evan McClendon, here on 1400 KNND. 2:47 to go in the fourth quarter of this one, and we are all tied up at 46. Sisters basketball out of the break. Rush with it for the Outlaws. He takes it left and gives it up to Jack Bird. Bird takes it right, picks up his dribble, back to Rush on the left wing. Rush has it stolen away by Ellingworth. He gives it away to Grover. Grover lay-in blocked by Anderson. Huge block there from Anderson, and now Berg is going to push it this way to Richards on the left wing. Richards gets around Grover, throws it, and it goes off the rim. Ellingworth comes away with it for Cottage Grove. Now to Grover on the left wing. Nice behind the back pass to Hagwood. Hagwood can't finish, gets his own board, can't get the putback. On the rebound, it's out of bounds off of Alonzo. Sisters basketball after that. Hagwood with two golden opportunities down low, cannot convert, and now trapped on the far side, and we've got a jump ball. Possession arrow is to Cottage Grove. Sisters turns it over again here late, but Cottage Grove got to take advantage of these opportunities. Tied up at 46. Lions' first home game of the season went into overtime. Got another close one here. Ball to Grover on the left wing. Grover now to Alonzo. Alonzo gets it to Hagwood. Hagwood turnaround jumper, no good. Board is knocked out of the hand to Anderson, and we're going to get a foul on Ellingworth. And that's a huge one. So it's going to mean free throws here for Sisters. That is number 10, so it's going to be the double bonus here for the Sisters Outlaws. It'll be 2 free throws for Zach Anderson. First free throw from Anderson is up and good, and Sisters now with a 1-point lead. Second free throw, that one up and gets the friendly roll, and Sisters is up 2. 1:27 to go here in the fourth quarter. Cottage Grove basketball down 2. Ball to Grover. Now to Giffen. Alonzo back to Grover. The 3 is blocked, and the board goes to Anderson. Rush with it for Sisters, and now Cottage Grove very well could be in the area of fouling. Berg with it on the left wing. Berg going to take it back out. That pass is tipped, and it's out of bounds off of who? And they're going to say it went off of Blake. They're going to give the ball to Cottage Grove. Tough break there for Sisters, to say the least. That one right in front of me. It's Cottage Grove basketball, under a minute to go. Giffen to Ellingworth. Ellingworth gets a screen. He takes it into the paint. Out to Alonzo. Alonzo, Grover, right wing 3. That one's off the mark. Board goes to Alonzo, and a foul is going to be called on Sisters on the board. So it will be Cottage Grove basketball. Only the 5th team foul on Sisters. And Giffen to inbound. He gets it into Alonzo. Shots up, and he's fouled. And it's going to be 2 free throws here for Dejan Alonzo. That one goes on Jack Berg. And now 2 free throws coming for Alonzo. Chance to tie it. First one up. First one is good for Alonzo. Hayden Glenn comes in here for Cottage Grove. Trenton Grover checks out. 40.9 seconds to go. This free throw to tie it. It is up and nothing but net. ice water in those veins for Alonzo. And we're tied at 48 with 40 seconds to go. Rush takes it right, now gives it to Berg. And we're going to get a timeout here from Sisters. 48-48, 30 seconds to go here at Cottage Grove High School. We've got a full timeout from David Godfrey. We are going to take a 1-minute break and be back with the rest of the fourth quarter. To Cottage Grove High School. 30.6 seconds to go. We're all tied up at 48. It's Sisters basketball. Richards to inbound from the far side out of the timeout. See if Sisters holds for the last shot here with 25 seconds to go. Rush to Anderson, now back to Rush, 15 seconds to go. Berg's the main shooter for Sisters. Look for him to take this last shot. 9 seconds. Berg now to Richards. He splits the defense. Lay-in is good. Only 5 seconds. We'll see how much time is left on the clock. As we'll see the discussion. Nick Finley was right on top of it, wanted the full timeout right out of the break. Excuse me, right out of that score from Richards. And it looks like they're going to put 4.9 back on the clock. Sisters with a 2-point lead. It's 50-48. This is a spot. Finley drawing up the play call right now here for Cottage Grove. We'll see if they put Grover back in. And indeed, they do have him in the game. It's going to be Ellingworth, Alonzo, Giffen, Hegwood, and Trenton Grover in the basketball game. 4.9 seconds. If they can get it into about half court, there's a slight possibility they might be able to get the ball inside the three-point line. But most likely at this point, you're looking for one of those shooters. Ideally, I mean, actually, it could be just about any of them. Giffen has been ice cold tonight. Alonzo can shoot it from deep, but he's probably going to be the one to throw it in, and indeed he will be. We'll see what Sisters does defensively, but this is it right here. The shooters for Cottage Grove, Ellingworth and Grover down the floor for Cottage Grove. 4.9 seconds to go. And now we're going to get a timeout here from Sisters, as Godfrey just wanted to see how Cottage Grove was going to line up. Another timeout here. We are going to take a 30-second break and be back with the rest of the fourth quarter. Welcome back to Cottage Grove High School. Once again, I'm your host, Evan McClendon, here on 1400 KNND. 4.9 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. It's going to be Cottage Grove basketball. They are down by 2 and have to inbound it from the baseline on the opposite end of the court. from their basket. Alonzo to throw it in. He gets it into Giffen. Giffen takes it up the floor. Giffen into the paint. Giffen, lay in, no good, and that is going to do it. Sisters comes into Cottage Grove and comes away with a 50-48 victory here on the opening night of Sky-M League play. We're going to take a 1-minute break and be back with my post-game wrap-up.